Alright guys, welcome back. So now we are going to connect our Node.js application with MySQL. Okay, if you guys remember, in the previous video I showed you that you should install XAMPP or MAMP depending on what kind of system you are working. Make sure that you're doing here a start on both of the Apache and the MySQL. And make sure that you guys in the last video, okay, you install this MySQL as a dependency on your package.json. Okay, when you open your package.json, you should be able to see in here a MySQL that we installed before. So let's go in here on our app.js. So there's one thing that I would like to do, and the first thing is I want to import my MySQL. So let me just see. I'm gonna do in here a const MySQL is gonna be equals to require. Okay, is gonna be require MySQL. Now that you got these all set, we can actually start our database. So I'm gonna start my database in here. So I'm gonna do const DB. You can call it whatever name you want. I'm just gonna put the DB is short for database. It's gonna be equals to MySQL, okay, dot create connection. Okay, so this create connection is a function, and inside you're gonna put an object, and you're gonna put a couple of things, which is gonna be the host. Okay, you need to tell which one is the host. So because we are working locally now on our machine, the host is going to be local host. Okay, if you're going to be working on a server, for example, you have your server that you just bought online or something, you can put in here the IP address of the server that you just bought, or your own server that you already have. You can put in here the IP address because we are running locally, localhost. Okay, then I'm going to put in here the user. Okay, and the user by default, okay, I think this should be, if I'm not wrong, this needs to be like this, okay, in between strings. The user is going to be root, and the password is going to be empty. Okay, so where are these values coming from? Okay, so when you install MySQL in here with this XAMPP, by default, XAMPP brings a user that the name is root, and the password is just single quotes empty. Okay, there is no space in here, guys. Look, there is no space. I'm going to delete it. You see, it's just two single quotes together. So this is the regular user and password from XAMPP. If you guys are using MAMP for macOS, I believe that the user and password is root. Okay, this is for MAMP if you are using MAMP. If you are using this one, XAMPP, like me, the password is empty. Okay, and then we need to put in here a database. Okay, you need to put in here the name of the database that you want to use. At the moment, we don't have any database created, so we're going to create one now. So make sure that you have your Apache and MySQL started. Okay, so if you go into your browser and you just put this on the top, let me show you. Localhost /PHP myadmin. So localhost PHP, I'm going to put in here, I'm not sure if you guys can see it well. I'm just going to put in here. So http:// localhost PHP myadmin. Okay, this is what you need to put on the browser. Okay, I'm going to just delete this. You can pause the video if you need to copy it. Okay, so let's go there again. And on the side, you should be able to see something similar to this. On the side, this is where you create all your databases. Okay, so in here, I'm going to put a new database. So I'm going to create a new. And in here where it says database name, I'm going to put Nodejs-login. This is the name that I'm going to give. Nodejs-login. And I'm just going to press create. You don't need to do anything else. Okay? So this should be all good. Okay, so Node.js-login. Now we add this in here, Node.js-login. Okay, we created the connection in here. Then let me just see. We actually need, so we created all the values in here for the connection. Now we actually need to connect it. So how do we connect it? We do db. Look, this is the db that we just created, and you're gonna do dot connect. Okay, db.connect, and now in here there is gonna be a function. Okay, and this function can have an error or a result. For now, I'm just gonna put an error. Okay, just gonna put an error. So in here, I'm gonna say if there is some sort of error. Okay, this is what this parameter means. It means that if we catch some error in here in this connection, I'm gonna do a console.log of this error. Okay, I'm gonna show you in a second if I'm gonna put some wrong details in here. So console.log of the error. Else, okay, so else I'm just gonna do console.log of MySQL connected. All right, so if you save this, you should be able to see now a message down here on the terminal that it says MySQL connected. So now your application, your Node.js is connected to the MySQL database that we just created. So imagine that for some reason you put something wrong in here. It could be the password, it could be the username, the host, or the database. It doesn't matter. You put something of the details wrong, you should be able to see an error on the terminal. So I'm going to put in here Node.js login. I'm going to put an extra N, for example. So as you guys can see, there is N. So now you got a big error in here on the terminal, and it says unknown database Node.js login. Okay, because we got two N's. If I'm going to remove it, I'm going to save it, and look, we go back to the MySQL connected. All right, so we got all of these connected now. So basically, we can just create some tables. Let's just create some tables because we are going to use we're going to need to use some tables in here for storing the values of our users. So I'm going to go in here. So I'm going to check. This is my database that I just created for this project before this. So as you guys will see, we need to have an ID. So we need to have a column for storing the IDs of the users. We're going to need a column for the name. We need to have a column for the email, another column for the password. So let's create this table inside of our Node.js login database. So how many? Let me go back and check. So I had one column, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 columns. Let's go back in here, Node.js login. When you click it, it should be able to give you in here to create a table, give it whatever name you want. I'm going to create a table for the users because I want to log in, log out, and whatever. How many columns? I think it was 4. Yeah? Okay. Let's press go. So the first column is going to be an ID because each user that you register in your database should have a unique ID. So the type is going to be an integer because it's a number. Make sure, let me just scroll a bit in here to the right side. Okay. There is a column in here that it says AI, which is a short for auto increment. So I'm going to click in here and I'm not going to change nothing in here. I'm just going to press go. Okay. So what are we doing in here? Basically, whenever you create a new user, if you have this ticked, okay, you are making this auto increment. So it means that every time that you create a new user, the ID will be generated automatically. So you create a user, it's going to be with the ID of 1. You create another user, it's going to be with the ID of 2, and so on. So you don't need to worry about that. So after that, what else do we need? We need the name. Okay, so a column of name. So name, is going to be with the type of varchar. So varchar is just a variable of characters that we can give a limit if you want to. So for example, I want that all my users have a maximum letters, maximum characters of, for example, 100 on the username. If someone has a username with greater than 100 characters, it's just not going to be able to register this. Okay, so this is going to be for the name. I'm going to do the same for the email. I'm just going to put another varchar. Okay, I'm going to put 100. And now I'm going to put another one. So we got ID, name, email, and finally I'm going to put password. Password is going to be a varchar as well because it's just like regular characters. So I'm going to put 255 just in case. 255 should be a lot for if you want to have a huge password. All right, so if you have all of these done, okay, you just press save. Okay, and now look, inside of your Node.js login, you should be able to see this table of users. Look, I'm clicking on it. And if you go on the top where it says structure, okay, you should be able to see the ID, the name, the email, and the password. So you got all of these things in here. So basically we got everything. We got everything now that we got our database connected. As you guys can see in here on the terminal, we created our database and the table with all the details that we need for the users. In the next video, I'm going to show you how you can create a home page, for example. And after the home page, we can create the register and so on. So I hope that you are enjoying this so far until now. And that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next video.